Opening day is here today on SB Baseball Podcast. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the SB Baseball Podcast. I'm your host, Alan, and joining me today is one Mr. Rapid Dave. How we doing, buddy?
I'm very excited, sir. Very excited.
Very excited. It is opening day. You got your little Ranger jersey on over there.
Yep.
You're all jacked up, the defending World Series champs. How you feeling? How you feeling?
Time to run it back. That's how I'm feeling.
All right. But this is going to start becoming a daily thing. I'm going to start giving you recaps every day of the events for the previous day. Well, let's go ahead and start off with let's just take a quick gander down the schedule for today. Look at some pitching matchups and just let me know what some of your thoughts are on some of these games real quick as we've got our opening day lineup here. Starting off the day, we've got the Angels traveling to Baltimore. You got Patrick Sandoval versus Corbin Burns going here. Baltimore's negative 175. Any thoughts on this one?
As far as when we start talking about favorites, and then we'll definitely, I assume, get into betting at some point this season. I do not bet on opening day because you have no idea what's going to happen. All of a sudden the Orioles could take off just like the Rays last year, right? They took off and went absolutely bonkers. But yeah, no, I'm. It's a 205 pitch. I'm excited about a little bit of a slight day game. You're a big day game guy. But yeah, I mean, Orioles looked great last year. I'm looking forward to them, and the Angels should be a little bit of a decent team. They had a real rough patch last year, but yeah, Orioles should just roll. They should just keep rolling.
Yep. Then we got the Tigers traveling to Chicago to play the White Sox. Tariq Skubal versus Garrett Crotchet. Detroit's negative 185 on this one. God, I hope my Tigers just don't completely the bed this year.
They were so bad last year. Good news, though, the White Sox weren't great either. So you might be squeaking away with a road victory on opening day here.
Yeah, and I hope so. I really do. The thing is, we spent all this money on Javi Baez. The dude went spring training, hit like 0.09. I mean, he's just, ever since we gave him that big contract, he's just been just awful.
It's
just
crazy
awful.
when these guys get big contracts. They either boom or they completely bust. There's no in between. They don't just earn the dough, right? So it's either they're amazing or they're terrible, and it's tough. It's tough when you pay someone that much money and get nothing. But spring training is spring training, right?
Yep.
I mean, the Rangers finished second to last in the Cactus League, I think. So that's not indicative of how the season's going to go. That's the time to kind of test some things out. Maybe he was working on a new stance or something, or used a different bat. He went up an ounce or so, or he had the Babe Ruth bat.
Who knows what he's doing? But all in all, he just needs to get his together. Next, we got the Minnesota Twins traveling to Kansas City to play the Royals. Pablo Lopez versus Cole Reagans. Minnesota's negative 130 on that one.
Going to be kind of a tight game, I assume. But to be honest with you, the Royals were terrible last year. I don't know if they made a lot of moves to actually improve that much. Twins are always a decent team, not a great team, but decent. They've been great in the past. But yeah, just looking forward to this one as well. I mean, I'm going to have like the Octo box going on today, so I can just keep an eye, because the one thing I have the big inning on MLB TV, so I'll be watching that. I do like to watch the Royals play. I like their stadium, but yeah, no, opening day, I'm just like, all right, favorite maybe if I have to pick someone, but home team, I think on this one, I think the Royals should be able to pull this one out.
Okay. Here's one of your bigger matchups of the day. You got the Yankees traveling to Houston to play the Astros. Nestor Cortez versus Framber Valdez. Houston's negative 150. I know you hate Houston, but you're not really a big Yankees fan either, right?
Not really. The Yankees struggled last year. Their division all of a sudden got really tough, so they fell towards the bottom. Astros, they won the AL West last year on the last day of the season. Astros have been good for years now, right? So this is actually a marquee matchup that you want to watch. It's a 3:10 start here in Texas, so it's one that I'm definitely going to put on.
And this game's going to be featured over on ESPN Plus, so you'll be able to catch that game over there. Then we got the Pirates traveling to Miami, play those Marlins. Mitch Keller versus Jesus Luzardo. Miami's negative 130. Here's a fun fact for you: you can get tickets for as low as $7 on that game.
I was about to say, I go, if I show up to watch this game, I'll be I'll actually count as a massive percentage of people who's showing up because
Huge
no one
percentage.
goes to the Marlin games.
Nobody. It's ridiculous. I don't and that's a team that's been decent here, right? But just Miami just does not show up to support that team. It's a shame. It really is.
Mhm.
You got the San Francisco Giants traveling to San Diego. You got Logan Webb versus Yu Darvish. You got a negative 115 for the Padres on that one. You got two teams that are supposed to be pretty decent this year here.
I really do like watching when San Fran plays San Diego or if LA, the Dodgers get involved. I like watching those three teams play one another. And this is one that, I'll definitely have up on the side screen. It should be a tight game. I can't believe Darvish is still in the he's
He's
still in the league. He used to
still
play for
plugging along.
Texas. Yeah. He
It,
doesn't throw hard, but he's got some precise stuff, man.
yep.
Precise stuff.
And the Padres are one of those teams that's already got two games down for the season. They're 1-1 right now.
Mhm.
So next up, we've got the Cardinals traveling to LA to play the Dodgers. Miles Michalkus versus Tyler Glass now. The Dodgers are negative 230 on that one. I know you hate those Cardinals.
I don't like Cardinals. I don't know why. I just don't like them. But this will be obviously they're calling for the Dodgers to absolutely obliterate them. I don't know. I don't know how good the Dodgers are going to be this year. On paper, they got talent, but it's still not an absolute complete team. They've got some star power. They've got amazing players. The Cardinals generally aren't someone you can just kind of shrug off either, but they are. They're just kind of. I don't know if they're rebuilding, right? But their good years are behind them, and then they got to kind of start stacking players again. But yeah, Dodgers should roll on this one.
Yeah,
On
and
paper, that is.
the Dodgers have a ton of offensive weapons. Adding
Mhm,
Shohei Ohtani to that lineup is just it's almost not fair. It really
mhm.
is. Here's another good matchup we got today. We got the Blue Jays traveling to Tampa to play the Rays. Jose Barrios versus Zach Eflin. Tampa Bay's negative 135 on this one.
No, it's like the Miami. No one goes to Rays games, right? So it's like tough to watch. And they play in a state, the dome down there, the Tropicana Field, which always looks terrible on TV. And it doesn't help that 45 people show up. So it actually kind of kills the vibe.
I will say tickets for this one are as low as $69 right now.
Yeah.
So a little bit higher price. You got to spend a little bit more to go here than you do have to Miami.
I could have booked one a round trip, went to the game, and came back the same day and spent less money than going to like any other game around you know what I'm saying? Like the home opener here in Arlington.
Yeah, I think you're looking at around like $200 for standing room only at the ballpark today for the Rangers.
Ridiculous.
Um, Next up, we got Washington playing the Cincinnati Reds. A little Ellie De La Cruz action. Josiah Gray versus Frankie Montez. Cincinnati's negative 150. I will say Cincinnati's one of those young and upcoming teams, and I cannot wait to see what De La Cruz does this year. Cannot wait.
I'm with you. I've kind of followed the Reds for a while. My family is either Braves fans or Reds fans and whatnot. And yeah, especially with that young talent, they are fun to watch. I love their stadium too. They're actually on the list. I plan on going up to the Great American Ballpark this year. I'd
Okay.
like to catch it sometime in the spring. But yeah, I mean, come on, let's get more Reds baseball on national televised games. I mean, obviously we can watch them if you have the MLB.TV package. You can watch
Right.
them whenever you want. So I'll be checking out a little bit more of those games this year because that kid is electric.
Yeah, and what was it you were telling me about him? He went and learned English during the off season.
Yeah, so he speaks and understands English now. And when they were interviewing him, and go back, go find the interview. It's wholesome. It's very sweet actually because he says he learned English so he can communicate and interact with fans. Like that's the most wholesome thing on earth, man. Like he just like it's awesome. I really was watching. I was like, man, look at this kid, and everybody's praising him about it, and that's awesome. And really cheers to him for doing that and because he wants to connect with his fans.
Yep. Now we got the ESPN game of the day. The Chicago Cubs are traveling to Arlington to play those Texas Rangers. Justin Steele versus Nathan Eovaldi. Texas is negative 120. How you feel about your boys this year?
It's like one of those things where you're like, all right, we're going to run it back. They still have the same talent. They are missing a couple pitchers, right? They didn't get to sign Montgomery, but they got Eovaldi on the bump to start things off this year. They got nothing but hot bats right now as well. So this thing could just pop off at any moment. But I'm never too like, oh yeah, we're gonna crush the Cubs are always like the Cubs. Like they could beat you, they could lose by 20. You never know what's gonna happen. But yeah, I won't be going to the park today. Lizzie actually brought it up again. I guess she's got a little extra coin in her pocket, so she's like, "You sure you don't want to go to the game?" I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't want to go spend $20 a beer and $30 for nachos." But let's go Rangers.
I don't know. Are they pulled pork nachos? It might be worth it.
Oh man, they had some really good stuff at the park. Remember back in like the early, I guess about 2010, when they had all those bits for like the dog, the crazy long dog, and the
The
uh
boomstick.
yeah, the boomstick. They started bringing out all these weird oddball things. The stuff is still there, but I think they just renamed them. But it's wild. Their
They
food
got
there
that
is good. So
that giant ass pretzel. I love
yeah,
that thing. I think it's so great. Next up, we've got Cleveland traveling to Oakland to play the A's. Shane Bieber versus Alex Wood. You can get tickets at this game for as low as $12. Um, you've got Cleveland's -150 on this one.
yeah. I mean, here's just an idea for anybody who's thinking about gambling this year on any Oakland Athletic games. You always go against them, and you're going to be okay because they have no interest in winning. They're moving to Vegas. I think it is. They make the official next year, or is it
Uh,
2026?
I think I might be 2026. I think.
And but yeah, any team is better than the Oakland Athletics. They don't want to win. They don't care. They did a reverse boycott last year and got people in the stands. But yeah, I mean, Guardians have to roll here, right?
They have to. They really do. Next, we got another good matchup here. We got the Red Sox playing the Mariners. Brian Bello versus Luis Castillo. Seattle's -155.
Seattle ended the season last year really good. They still have a lot of young talent. Red Sox are kind of in the middle. They're not really going all in. They're not really getting anybody. They let Verdugo go. I don't know. I don't know what to think about the Sox right now, but the Mariners are a solid team and going to be a contender for the AL West.
Yeah, Mariners are going to be pretty good. We'll see what Boston does. And the last game of the night, the Colorado Rockies traveling to play the Arizona Diamondbacks. Kyle Freeland versus Zach Gallen. Arizona's -215. Arizona going to keep the train rolling this year?
They got to. And they had a great run last year, great run in the playoffs, made it to the World Series, just happened to run into the Rangers and they were hot. So I mean, why won't they run it back or at least get into the playoffs and have a really good season? How many I don't even know what they're over under on the total wins this season, but Arizona's a solid team. Like a very solid team. So they'll be fun to watch too cuz as Corbin over there, right? That
Yeah.
amazing player and he was so fun to watch in the playoffs.
Yeah, he was so fun to watch all year last year. So that's your opening day schedule, guys. Let us know if there's any games that you're really excited about. How's your team going to do? It's going to be a fun baseball season. Keep your eyes open for stuff and make sure you check out old Rapid Dave over there on the Ranger Roundup. You'll be getting that at least weekly, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll see.
We'll see how he's feeling. But thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate you guys. As always, I'm Alan.
Rapid Dave.
Talk to you guys later. Deuces.